in the Gold Prayer Book, turn to page 27, and we'll recite the 7-limb prayer in Tibetan. Page 27. Gosum gupe gone chatselo ngesham yi tu churti malubu tomene saditun tam sheshak Kepage wanam la jeirang Korwa maton bardule june Dola cherki kolo korwa dang Da jengena janchu chempongo. Turn to page 97. And we'll recite the short mandala offering at the bottom of the page. Saji perki Jushin metog tamri rablishi nidegen pari sangye jindu mikte uwa idro kunam dag shinla cheparshok jetun lama tampa kenam kiche gukala kense jujintri jita tsampe dutetsima laja kecherki charpa waptu idam guru ratamadaragam niryatayami. Chudan soki chonam la janju bardu dani kapsuchi dagi chenyengi pesenam gido la penchu sangye tu parsho. Chudan soki chonam la janju bardu dani kapsuchi dagi chenyengi pesenam gido la penchu sangye tu parsho. Chudan soki chonam la janchu bardu dani kapsuchi dagi chenyengi pesenam gido la penchu sangye tu parsho.
Nide shiwa sonda kushi nije dunze kaya nalo la penpa jana la nije jindane donze banga kanda ya nebe no bako de na zonde zonba Nide janjo wa sebe doje sanje jine yumde la janze lo kange tenje deba jo gaba meba je meba chemar meba ta meba Owa meba no meba ta de me deje me tiba nije chi temba zobe sanje manam je tamba de la janze 관계 도저히 저는 따와 담제 bombe 담배 춘데 되게 뭐 고담들로 저지 Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good evening. Louis, how are you? Very good. Oh, you look very good. Welcome back. Yeah. Maybe we'll say like maybe 21 medicine Buddha mantra. Medicine Buddha mantra. If you can, then please visualize on the if you can visualize on the top of your crown. How you say on the top of? Yes, on the top of your crown. Your crown. Okay. On the top of your crown. Visualize medicine Buddha, form of light. Okay, medicine Buddha. Form of light. It looks like same like Shakyamuni Buddha. The image looks pretty much same. There's a little hand gesture a little bit different, but color. You see here, this is a Buddha, the Thangka. Then right after the big one, that's medicine Buddha. So you look at that, so that's medicine Buddha. So just visualize, if you can, visualize that on your crown, form of light, bright, dark blue, bright dark blue. The right hand holds the medicinal plant. It's called arura. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Like there's like type of medicinal plant that grow in Tibet, or maybe in India, or maybe Himalayan mountains, called arura. So just imagine the holding medicinal plant, right hand. Left hand, there's like bowl. Usually it's called like lungse, like this usually like begging bowls, kind of like bowl, small bowl, dark color bowl. So the left hand is meditative positions, just like this, They're holding the begging bowl. So then that bowl, the color is dark. I think the dark. Why is it dark? Because it's considered as unattractive colors. The color is considered as unattractive. Therefore, the monks, anything they use, it's like not like very attractive. So why symbolize simplicity. Symbolize simplicity. Simplicity. Simplicity, like something like that. That's why the color is dark. So that bowl filled with nectar called amrita or duchi, in Tibetan called duchi. So then that nectar, there's many different kind of nectars. Okay, there's many different kind of nectars. But in that begging bowl is like filled with the nectars. Nectars or amrita of immortalities. Chivameva. So it's going on now. So then the nectars, this is like medicinal nectar, medicinal nectar, free of disease. There's another one. Yeah, then I don't remember next two. So anyway, just visualize that bowl filled with the four different types of nectars. The last one is, how is it, inexhaustible nectar. It's called inexhaustible nectar. So one. So anybody remember one? I only said three, so I don't remember.
Isn't it wisdom, medicine, wisdom, and transcendental, inexhaustible?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I just said. That's the one I just said.
Oh, immortality.
Immortality. I said, immortality. I would have said, now there's one left. Free of affliction, something. So anyway, just imagine that, begging bowl filled with nectars. So then while you recite the mantra, so then if you are a family member sick, or your pet, or your friend, close one, then just visualize the medicine Buddha on their crown, like form of light. So then the nectar flows from the begging bowls in the like kind of like laser beam, and purify every single sicknesses. Not just sicknesses and all the negative mind purifies, completely purifies. Okay, just visualize while you recite the mantra. So then visualize nectar flows from the begging bowl. So then fills your body. So then purify. Purify. Purify all the physical sicknesses, mental defilement, all the obstacles, everything completely purifies. So just visualize. So that even generally speaking, there are like probably 7 different types of colors. The colors of the medicine Buddha. There's 7 set of medicine Buddha. So when you do the practice, you visualize them. So then each one dissolve into the next one, then dissolve. The last one is medicine Buddha. So the bright blue, dark blue colors. So there's like 7 yellow at the beginning of the 7 yellow. Then 3 yellow. First one is yellow. Second one, third one yellow. Then orange colors. Then red light. So then red. Then blue. So then the blue is the last one. So don't need to worry about that. So just visualize the main one. Medicine Buddha itself. So then the dark blue, bright blue. That the color is like combination of 7 different colors. This all symbolize healing energies. Okay, healing energy. So then nectar flows while we recite the mantra. Nectar flows. Then you can visualize on all the people who are sick, mentally, physically sick. Like in the nursing home and the hospital and all over the countries, not just America, and all over the world. So then your practice becomes more powerful, because you are thinking about much more than yourself, thinking about so many people. Because of that, your practice or the power that you generated by reciting medicine Buddha mantra become more powerful. Okay, so do that. So begin with the stanza.
It's on page 34 in the Gold Prayer Book. 34. Bhagawan with equal compassion for all, whose name when merely heard dispels the suffering of the lower realms, dispeller of disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate to medicine Buddha, lapis light. How many malas are we chanting?
Just 1 million mantras.
Okay, 1 million?
Only 1 million.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
21.
Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Rata Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Rata Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Rata Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samagate Soha.
By reciting medicine Buddha mantras, even though we don't have power, but mantra itself has powers. The power of the mantras then purifies all the sicknesses, mental defilement. Even just hearing the mantra, even just hearing the mantras, purifies. Purifies so many, obstacles, all kinds of things. Also help you to overcome from attachment, anger, ignorance, which is considered as three poisons. Because of that, all kinds of health problems, problem in the mind arise because of attachment, anger, ignorance, because of that. So then just hearing the medicine, even just hearing the mantras purifies. Then if you say on someone else's ears, or whether like dog, cat, whatever, like snake, or whatever, it purifies. Okay, very, very powerful mantras. So then the Shantideva's prayer, there are three strands that you remember. Shantideva's, Jinjavachinjava.
There are in the world, may they never occur again. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain a notion of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May all beings everywhere, plagued by suffering of body, obtain a notion of happiness and joy.
There's two stanzas.
Yeah, those two. And you said to say the other one 3 times.
So then the last one probably said, it's better to. Why you say 3 times? The first time you may saying that prayer, but wandering, not looking around, don't feel anything. That's why you say 3 times. Hope that you'll feel something, and you not just say the word, but you really mean that. Not just mumbling the word. Because you create merit by reciting medicine Buddha mantras. So then due to the power of that merit, then you dedicate that merit to help all the beings who are sick and ill. So then you pray for them, you pray for them. Pray for them, then you get immense benefit, Then Chona say the last one, second stanza.
May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind.
Very, very powerful prayers, Shantideva, composed by Shantideva around 7th century, many centuries ago. You'll find that in the chapter number 10, the text called Guide to Buddhist Way of Life, composed by Indian master Shantideva, around 7th century or 3rd century, I don't remember exactly, many centuries ago. So this is very, very powerful prayers, or wish. Chona kunde ludanse dungan nebachi niba, teta daga sonu devajan. Chona kunde ludanse dungan nebachi. Now think about people who has like a physical problem, mental problem, addiction problem, all kind of problems. Then you pray for all of them. Then you dedicate the merit, the created by reciting medicine Buddha mantra. Then you dedicate that merit for their well-being, Low self-esteem, depression, addiction, all kind of like mental problem, all kind of problem, challenge. Then top of that, there's physical problems. Then you say the chona kunne ludanse dungan neba chinyeba. Teta dage sonam dega janzo toba shows. And you say first time, maybe wandering, looking around. Then you say 3 times. Then make sure that you feel something. That's important. Okay. Oh yeah. We say 3 times or 1 time.
Just said 1 time.
Yeah, we do the 3 times.
May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain a notion of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits.
So then doing this kind of practice as a group, so even become more powerful as a group. How many times we say same thing? How many times we say same thing? Same thing, same time, how many times? So now you see like people are doing some kind of experiment. They meditate on, the 3,000 people meditate on the same time, change. It brings positive change in the communities that prove through scientific studies, prove. So I'm not surprised, not surprised. So, so then doing, like reciting mantra, same mantra as a group, so become more powerful. So then after that saying dedication, will benefit, okay? So then you get immense benefit. Yeah, so now, back to class. Oh, yeah. So I think last Wednesday I read a little bit about the how much the mother sacrificed for our survival. So I read about that. How much the mother sacrificed. Generally speaking, how much mother sacrificed for your own, for our well-beings, our our survivals, how much mother sacrifice. Therefore, Shakyamuni Buddha said in the Vinayaka Sutras, Vinayaka Sutra that talks about monastic life, so it has like probably 600 pages. Not this like this, no, this is like Western types of books. So we have traditional book here, like this, long one, so then the long page, like probably the Vinayaka Sutras, there's like 2 sections, each one has 350 pages, maybe together, probably there will be 600 pages. Talks about monastic life, monastic, how you should eat, how you should walk, how you should look, how much you should possess, all of that, talking about monastic life. In that sutra, the Buddha said very clearly, so taking care of one's own parent is like taking care of one's own parents, is like the benefit that you receive from that benefit or merit from you receive for doing that is like serving like two enlightened beings. There's no differences. Or sick people who are sick, and serving them, you create so much merit, and which is the cause for happiness. Happiness is not a result of desire. Everybody has desire. Everybody has desire for happiness, but happiness is not a result of desire. Happiness is the result of merit. So my point here, what I'm trying to say is like taking care of one's own parents, you create equal amount of merit if you're serving the true enlightened being in Buddha. Same. Sick people, same people who somebody sick, so you help them. So why? Because mother, parents, especially the mother, sacrifice so much just to bring us up, just for our survival. So last Wednesday I read that little bit. So now back to the point. Why? Here we are talking about how to develop universal compassion. Compassion they reach stranger, enemy, friends, all up, So how one can develop that kind of compassion? Then one need to understand connection between you and others, not just simply with your friends, close one, everybody, So that connection is very deep. And not just that, is deeply rooted into affection and loving kindness. That's why in Buddhism you see, particularly in Mahayana teaching, you see this word, all mother-centered beings. All mother-centered beings. Connection is very deep, and is deeply rooted in affections, loving kindness. Likewise, affections, loving kindness between child and mother, that kind of connections. So need to recognize that. So then you can develop universal compassion. Otherwise, universal compassion just become word. Anybody can say it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean universal compassion. Even the parrot, you can teach parrot how to say universal compassion. Then eventually parrot will probably say universal compassion. Doesn't mean anything, probably nothing, it's just a word. So that's why we're trying to understand, are we connected? Am I connected? Even though I don't know that person, does not mean there's no connection. There is connection. That's connection. It's deep connections. So then you slowly you have like desire to work for others, work for others, work for others. So then your life become meaningful. Your life has purpose. Your very existence has purpose, and it has meaning. It's not just meaning, very important meaning, and very important purpose. Then so then every day You feel good. You feel good. You feel good, and you feel like fortunate, and you feel that your life has purpose and meaning. You have a meaning. Then you see that your life is precious. Meaning, not just to free yourself from problem, not just that, and like thinking about freeing everybody else from the suffering. So that's how you feel fortunate, and you feel your life has meaning, and your life has purpose. Purpose, meaning doesn't mean doing things, doing stuff. You don't have to do all the time doing something. No, there's a mundane, very mundane like meaning or purpose. It's not, it's not like that. This is very important. Okay. And as I mentioned before, is this the first time you become human? Is this the first time you become living being? Is this the first time you become living being? So that question needs to be asked. Is this the first time you become living being? Or before that, or is this the first or last? So that question needs to be answered. Okay. So then I said, birth. There's 4 different types of birth. Birth from egg, gongje. Ngaje, birth from womb. Ngaje, birth from heat. Then miracle birth. There's 4 types of birth. Miracle birth. 4 types of birth. Miracle birth doesn't require parents. No, doesn't require parents. More of the celestial beings in the celestial realms. Miracle birth, even the pardo, intermediate state, miracle birth. Miracle birth doesn't mean, the best. Doesn't mean opportunity-wise is not the best one. The opportunity-wise, the best birth is birth from the womb. That's the best. So you can improve, you can grow, you can improve. Miracle birth, does not mean the best. So then, like, once you figure it out, is this the first time I'm becoming living being? Or I was already been living being before this? If you've already been living being before this, then that requires, it's hard to believe that you are just like a miracle birth. If there's a birth from egg or womb, then that does require parents. So, so that's how you logically. That's how you think. So then, the body is like product of sperm and egg. That's what it becomes, body. There's something that thinks. How's about that one? Product of what? That's called mind or consciousness. So. The consciousness, matter, physical things cannot produce consciousness. That's natural law. Cannot produce consciousness. Probably contribute, but not produce, not direct cause. Direct cause or primary cause of consciousness has to be consciousness. Otherwise, natural law of causality will be, there will be a lot of contradictions within the natural law of causality. So if the wood produce mind, so then there's natural law of causality, there will be a lot of problems. Wood doesn't produce mind. Wood produce wood. That makes sense. So anyway, so that's how one should think. Is this first time I become breathing living being? Or is the first or last? So that if your answer is that's the first time, then there's nothing much you can do. Say, then you people say you live once. You live once.
You only live once.
You only live once. So then, then when you remember, it's not you only live one, probably you live multiple times. Then probably it's too late. There's nothing much you can do. Probably by the time you realize or feel something is too late, there's nothing much you can do. So that's how you logically, that's how you think. Oh. So then if there's something before this, logically there cannot be just one, cannot be just one. If you just say, oh, there's only one before this, you have to prove, you have to, you need to explain. You can't just, explain. So, same like the seed of corn seed. But this is not the first time it become corn seed, but it probably has continuous. It has begun somewhere. Then that's it. Like when you burn, it's over. It's over. If you store into the box, it's not over yet because it will not grow anything because it's in the box. It's not on the ground, so it will be there. But when you burn, no matter, before that probably you say 1 million years. Now 1 million years has a years of lifespan, or maybe 100 years of lifespan of this seed is now completely gone. When you burn, it's finished. If you don't burn, if you plant, it will continue, it will grow and continue. If you burn, then that's end. If that seed has 100 years worth of continuations, so that second is gone. Now it's finished. It's gone. Oh, so same. All the cycle, birth, aging, sicknesses, death. These called cycles. Probably it's going like this from long time. Then when you stop that, then they stop for good. Then there's no ongoing cycle like that. Okay. So anyway, my point here, all my friends, my point is to how to understand. Oh, there's connection between you and others. There's connection between you and others. Oh, others. Oh. Sometimes people say, oh, there's like universal consciousness, then divided. How to say? Do they say something like that? Collective consciousness? Huh?
Collective consciousness is not quite the same as universal.
Yeah, collective consciousness. No, so like, I heard a couple of times people are telling me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. For me, it doesn't make sense. Collective consciousness somewhere there, then we all become part of that. That's what the idea.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that probably only happened in America, not in. Yeah, so many things happen in America. Doesn't happen in Asia or in Tibet. So I'm not sure. So you have responsibility to explain, not me. Oh yeah. Oh, so now, if that's the case, oh, when I look around, everybody sacrificed so much for everybody. Everybody sacrificed so much for everybody. Regardless, American, Tibetan, Asian, white, black, brown, yellow, everybody. What's the benefit? You get immense benefit. You get immense benefit. You get immense benefit with having this kind of understanding. When you look around, everybody sacrificed so much for everybody. Then it makes sense to wish them good, wish them happy, wish them wonderful, wish them, minute you start to wishing something negative to someone else, that's called negative mind. Negative mind never ever produce any happiness. It always produces sufferings. Whether you believe in religion or not believe in religion, doesn't matter. The minute you start to think something negative about yourself or others, that is cause of suffering. That's all. That's cause of suffering. Oh, cause of more complications, creates more complications in your life. If you think, even you can live in the mountain, on Himalayan mountain, middle of nowhere, your heart filled with joy because you are thinking, always thinking something positive. Oh, so that's one way. So now, see, now you look around, everybody sacrificed so much for everybody's happiness or well-being. So now it makes sense, like why I should to think about developing bodhicitta. It's a mind that desire for happiness for every breathing living beings, every breathing living beings, not just your friend, family, every breathing living being. You wish them happy, and you wish them have happiness and cause of happiness, and you wish them free from suffering and cause of suffering. So there's the mindset you had, and there's the mindset, and you look around. And there's the mindset you look around. Oh. So now, first you need to remember the kindness. Remember the kindness, how much sacrifice, how much that person sacrificed for my well-being. Or maybe not that person doesn't sacrifice your well-being because you don't remember. Oh, so many things, even this life you don't remember. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It did happen, but you don't remember. You cannot say, oh, it doesn't happen because I don't remember. Even in this life, there are many things you don't remember. Just forget about this life. Yesterday, do you remember everything that happens? Yeah, so you can't just say, oh, it doesn't happen because I don't remember. So that's not the good reason. Oh, that's not a good reason to. So, so now that's how you meditate. You don't just stuck here. You do meditate, on the connection between you and others. You meditate on that. You meditate on that. You're doing that. So then from there, then marche. Oh, like all beings has sacrificed so much for my life, for my life. Likewise, my mother did in this life, same like that. So that's how you meditate. Meditation on connection between you and others, meditation on that. So you need to think about this life, okay? So then once you realize that you have no connections, there's so much sacrifice for your well-being, so much sacrifice for your well-being. So then now, how to repay the kindness, how to repay. If that's the case, how to repay. How to repay. First recognize. So then once you recognize, once you understood the connection between you and others, so then you have to recall their kindness. So then the third one, how to pay their kindness, repay their kindness, repay their kindness. Oh, yeah, don't do it. So that's third one. Teta rana toman between the yaya tinji jambe masimje nam kondo shebe chuoshi junji kowe janzo chimbe lungdo chene dunga suna soba junji mevadan shindu nyam taba las. So here, what is the goal? We are here studying what is bodhicitta. What is bodhicitta? Mind, body, fully enlightenment. Chitta, the Sanskrit word, both Sanskrit word. Chitta is the mind. Mind, the desire for Buddhahood. For what? Just to benefit, that's all. Just to benefit, that's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Just to benefit. Just to benefit, that's all. Nothing more, nothing less, just to benefit. So that's called bodhicitta, mind that desire for fully enlightenment of Buddhahood in order to benefit all breathing living beings. So that's called bodhicitta. So now this is the instructions. 6 cause and 1 result. There's instructions how to meditate on bodhicitta and how to develop altruistic attitude towards all living beings, Oh, hard, not easy. It's very hard, but can't give up, cannot give up. Oh, source of all the happiness. Okay, so then jinso. Oh, no, should not choose junji. Dogalji chiwanta be. Danzo chaje de buzu. Mani mumbe maje kune timje. So I already explained briefly. I already explained this. Now it's going. This Lama who wrote these commentaries is going into very depth or deep. Huh?
Into depth, going into great depth.
Going into great depth. Depth.
Depth.
Oh yeah. Going into very depth or whatever you say. Or whatever, not whatever you say, how you say about the same depth or depth.
Or going very deep.
Yeah, going very deep, very deep into each point. Now Lama is explaining quite details. Oh. So I already explained briefly this instruction, already explained. So now Lama is going very deep. Oh. So each point. Oh. Didn't it? So now that the third point, repaying the kindness. Not just one time, many times. Not just sacrifice one time, many times. It's sacrifice many times. Sacrifice many times. Oh, it's hard to get your head around, isn't it? But need to think. This is the first time you become human. This is the first time you become breathing living beings. If your answer is yes, how you explain? You can't just say, oh, I like that idea, that I'm first time become human. I like that idea. It's nothing to do with your like or you don't like. You need to find out the fact. You need to find out the fact. So, and then like, oh, I don't like, I like this kind of thing. End of the life doesn't help. End of the life doesn't help. Doesn't help. So you need to ask. Oh, okay. So point the object is it? So this is the choices. Choices. Four, not like the four rivers. Choices. So now when you look at the root text, you see there, Shukda choices is not just calm rivers. It's very powerful river. It's not just calm river. Shukda choices, junjiches. Every life. You see, your life, other people's life, greatly influenced by this four-stone river. What are those four-stone rivers? Birth. When I say birth, it could be like 4 different types of birth. Any birth is considered as birth. Ga, aging. Na, sicknesses, death. These are 4 powerful rivers. Every life. Newborn child all the way to President of the United States is not free from that 4 rivers. Life is greatly influenced by that. That is the fact. That's the fact. It has nothing to do with the Buddhism. It's the fact. So every life is greatly impacted by that. Then very tightly bind. Very tightly bind. Bound. What is bind?
Tied up.
Bind me tight? Yeah.
Bound tightly is to be tied up tightly.
You say bind or bound?
Bound or bind. If you bind somebody.
English language is very complicated.
Yes, it is.
Therefore, all the teaching in English become more complicated.
Tightly bound.
You say bound or bind? Bound.
B-O-U-N-D.
Correct way to say bound.
Bound.
Bound. So, Shuda Choshi Junjiches. Now the root text. Shuda Choshi Junjiches. Doga leji chiwan tambi dams. Greatly influence everybody's life, not just, don't think about just me, no, that's not true. Everybody's lives greatly influenced by those four strong rivers. It's very, very, very hard to escape from those rivers. It's not easy. But you could escape, but it's not easy. There's a way to escape, but it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not like one-day job. Doga is very difficult to, cross or, like very dogas. Leji chiwa tambidam, legion. Then tightly bound by actions, our actions. Tightly bound. Doga leji chiwa tambidam, doga leji chiwa tambidam. Tightly bound in this four strong rivers. In the river, tightly bound by our actions. Yeah, action then could be positive, could be negative, could be neutral. If our life is just tightly bound by positive actions, nothing to worry. But that's not the case. Unfortunately, that's not the case. That all leads back to the thought. Our thought. It's not like, your neighbor's thought, because of that you are greatly suffering. No, that's not true. But that's how we know. Your thought. So now just pause and think about it. How many thoughts rise every day? How many thoughts rise every day? What the first thought that rises when minute you wake up, the first thought that rises is positive or negative, is neutral? If it's neutral, then no, it's just neutral, there's nothing. What kind of thought rises the minute you wake up? So now you see why I've been saying all this last 20 years, think something positive. That's why, It's not like because I have nothing to say. Not because that, So if you say, why he's always saying something positive? Because our life is tightly bound by our actions into these four strong rivers. That's why we are not free. That's why we are part of the cycles. Goes round and round. In order to get out of the cycles, need to think something positive. Why? Because thought produce verbal action, physical actions. Because of thought. If there's no thought, then it's like a piece of rock. There's no action, We talk, we do things before we think. We think, it's not like just like everything we do, we think. Even the dream that we think, everything we do, we think. So that's why thought produce, that's mental actions. Talking about karma, that's mental karma. Then physical karma, then verbal karma is the result of the mind. Mental karma. So how many thoughts rise every day? What is the first thought that rises when you wake up? When you wake up, the first time you open your eyes. The thought that rises like, oh, precious human life, so happy, so lucky that, not dead yet, or alive, can see, or maybe do something good, or maybe wish something positive, or this kind of thought rise, or like, oh, I'm still alive, or like, what kind of thought rise? Therefore, there's many practice, When you go, if you're doing para practice, when you go to bed, and you're supposed to visualize that you are sleeping on the Mother Earth's lap. then hearing this mantra in beautiful tune. When you wake up, then you wake up in her lap and hearing these mantras, Tara mantra. That's how you wake up. Why all this practice? Idea is to think something positive, waking up with positive thought, then living with positive thought, then dying with positive thought. That's all. That's the whole point. Oh, what kind of thought rise? Feel grateful that you are alive, or you are thinking that like last night the mind never fighting, that I cannot sleep, so I wish they move away somewhere else, like yeah. Friday night. Yeah. Friday night, if you live close to the student's house, you hear a lot of noise. So that's what they do. They party, so they would do a lot of noise. So that's important. What kind of thought that rise throughout the day? More positive thought rise, then you give credit to yourself before you go to bed. Tell yourself, oh, did great job. You did great job, So do same tomorrow. Same. Life will. Oh, your life is going to be like waxing moon. Waxing moon. Huh? Relaxing moon. First small, get bigger. It doesn't get small. It gets bigger and bigger. So that's why, according to Vinayaka Sutra, the way they start the moon, the 16, there's the first in the moon. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Here we say 1, then 15, there's the middle of the month. The way the Vinayaka Sutra, the way they count the first day in the month is begin from 16. They're saying, oh, the 16 is tough. It's tough time. You don't see much moon. 16. But it won't remain there. Then as a 17, then it's tough. The beginning is tough. So then 1, there's a middle. Then you see some lights, some new face. So then 2, then see. So then end with the full 15. That's the end of the month. So then it's like full moon. It's full moon. It starts with kind of no light at all, no moon. That's the first day. Then it's tough. So then 1, then you see some light. Then So then that's why. Yeah. That's how you grow. Seems like 15 days, that looks like there's nothing, there's no growth. It's all dark after dark, dark after dark, dark after dark. So then there's 30, that's the middle of the moon. So 1, then you see some lights. Then that light, it gets bigger, it doesn't get smaller, it gets bigger and bigger, bigger. Oh, so there's like, there's a kind of like practice, It's not, you may not see any change, but it will gradually, like that. Make sense? Am I make sense? Huh? Oh. So that's the Vinayaka, so that's how the month begin. Shuda chuoshi junji dogaleji chiwan tambi danzu chaji dawe busutsu. Danzu chaji dawe busutsu. Chiwan tambi tam. So now see the action produced by mind. So that's why you need to be careful about what we think. Careful, Yeah. So we do what we can do. We do what we can do. That's all we can do. So you carry what you can carry. Somebody else carrying maybe 200 pounds. It doesn't mean you can carry 200 pounds. You just carry what you can carry. Yeah. So each one of us capable to carry something. Even though somebody carrying 300 pounds, so yeah, then you carry what you can carry. Don't just stay there, carry nothing. You can carry something. Now that means you do what you can do, then do it well. or Dogalaji Chiwa Tambi Damsino, so then tightly bound with these actions, positive, negative actions bound. Danzo Chaji Tayo Buzu Is this encouraging or discouraging? Huh? Discouraging? Is this encouraging or discouraging? Oh, that's good. That's good. Just learning the fact. Just learning the fact. That's all. Just learning the fact. Oh. So now, danjin. First we all, not just you, we all become attached to self. Attached to self. You say, I. It's very important. Nothing wrong. There's no things negative or positive. That's what everybody does. I become attached to yourself. So then when you ask very profound question to yourself, you are so attached to I, so do you have any clue what is I? Do you have any clue what is I? How you define I? Maybe you are so attached to something that doesn't exist at all. That does not exist at all. You just made it up. Is this the body? Is the body that you are, when you say I, you mean like your body? Probably not. You mean like your mind? Probably not. As I mentioned before, when you're about to fall off the cliff, you don't say, oh, my body is about to fall. Do you say that? Or do you say that my mind is about to fall? You say? You don't say. You say, I'm about to fall. Like that I is his body, is mind, or what? But you cannot find that I without depending on the body. Body is the basis. No. Even though you planted something by your hand, but you say, I planted. In reality, your hand is the one who planted. But your hand is not you. But you can still say, you are still saying, I planted. That means there's core relationship between you and your body, your aggregates. That clearly indicates that you cannot find separate self from the aggregate. But aggregate is not self. Itself is not self. But there will be no self beside aggregate. It's kind of complicated, so need to analyze. So, danzi charge tayo buzu, danzi charge tayo buzu. Charge tayo means iron cage. Charge tayo means iron cage. I, so because so attached I, so then when you analyze, when you start to analyze, say I. But not knowing true self, that is the iron cage, not catch, sorry, iron cage. Then kind of trap there, trap. That doesn't mean positive or negative, doesn't mean pain. This doesn't mean pain, so it doesn't mean pain. But in order to get out of this four-strong river, you need to understand. You need to understand yourself. How you define self. You need to understand that. Otherwise, that is like become like iron cage. You need to understand that. It's not doesn't mean, oh, if you trap there, you'll be pain all the time. That's not true. That's not true. Or that means you can't enjoy anything. That's not true. You can still enjoy things. The problem is that you are not free from those 4 great, strong rivers. If that's your goal, that's your goal, to free yourself from these 4 strong rivers, then you need to pay attention whenever you say, I am so annoyed that I. Maybe it's totally mistake. It's totally mistake. Say in the darkness, there's no house. There's not much light. There's only 1 candle light. All of a sudden you see side of the house or corner of the house, some shadow you see. And that looks like cockroach. Cockroach, it looks like cockroach. Or maybe scorpion. Something is there. That whole thing, whole hallucinations contributed by not bright light in the house. That's one component. Then on top of that, the shadow kind of looks like cockroach or scorpion. That's another component. It's not just for no reason or like all the bright light and you don't see shadow. There's no shadow, right? There's a whole component. You see corner of the room, there's shadow that looks like cockroach. Then you start to see cockroach. Then start to move. Then start to move around. And then you see the old, how do you call this? Cockroach has those 2 things.
Yeah, antenna.
So then you see all of that. You see all of that very clearly. Then you start to freaking out or get fear. Who knows? It's cockroach, it could be nothing. Who knows? But emotion had distractions. It's already started. What do you need? You need to understand the truth. You need to understand the truth. Otherwise, all this emotion and anxiety will not go away. You need to understand the truth. What do you need? You need bright light. That's more like instructions. How to meditate on self, instructions. Turns out that's like the shadow of your glass or your broom. It's not that's not scorpion. It's like shadow of some object that belongs to you. Could be tip of the prayer will reflect there. It looks like scorpion. Once you find out that's whole hallucinations, hallucinated by something that your mind labels. What happened? Everything that they say you are thinking to maybe call your friend or call like how the all plans, how to catch that cockroach, all kind of that thought rise based on shadow of your tip of your prayer wheel. Nothing. It's just tip of your prayer wheel. So now with the bright light, you look, there's no cockroach. What happened? All the antenna there you see very crystal clearly, and the wings a little bit moving here, there. What happened? It's all your mind created. Your mind created everything that. And all the fear and anxiety grow based on that image that your mind created. Of course, contributed by, not enough light in the room, so then out of that, some kind of concern about some kind of animal there. So many components contributed that. It's not like bright light that you see something shadow, then the cockroach. It's impossible. There's no shadow. So once you find out that, all the fear is gone. That fear is totally based on something that does not exist, even though you call, oh, that's myself. It's not yourself. It's not yourself. Or even though you call this is like somebody else. It's not somebody else. You just your whole, based on something that you 99% your mind projected. On one person that exists is like this, reflect in something then you create that as like cockroach, scorpion. Hold your mind. So, in order to overcome all these fears, all this, what you need to find the truth. Truth. Similar here. True self. True self. Why is it so important to find the true self? Same like here. Otherwise, the self so much been imposed, exaggerated on that, then so many anxiety, fears. Whatever, if you believe that your body is you, your body is you, if you just believe your body is you, if you just believe your body is you, this pretty much happened, like when you analyze, then that's misunderstanding. Your body is you are not yourself. Your body is not yourself. That's misunderstanding. So this is the analogy they use in the text. Analogy they use text to help us to understand the true self. Why is it so important? Because so many fear or anxiety probably generated by misunderstanding of self. So much of them. Once you find the true self, all this fear, anxiety will disappear, same like this. What in this case, what you need? You need bright light. Oh, there's kind of instructions. No, this like the light is like more like wisdom. Wisdom. The light is more like wisdom. So only I don't remember all of them. The analogy, the analogy symbolizes two things. The light symbolizes wisdom. So there's something else symbolizes something. The one is instruction. I'm not sure which analogy symbolizes instruction, but there's two things. Then that's how you figure it out. Wisdom, that's more like light, and you figure it out. The shadow is not cockroach. You find out the shadow is not cockroach depending on light. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. Not just go with the flow. Okay, I'm so ignoring. You just don't analyze. You just go with the flow. Not like that. You analyze that. You shade you shine the light. With dark, you just go with the darkness, so you don't try to find the light. You just go with roll with the darkness. So then probably can see anything. Then maybe probably you see scorpion or cockroach, something that's not scorpion, something that's not cockroach. You will see all kinds of things. Then you're just going to the darkness, nothing about light. The wisdom is like you shine the light. That's wisdom. So the instructions, how to find, the self, true self. That's instructions. So then, what is the instruction? Probably refers to. So I don't remember that part. Anyway, so. 담보가 주다 주어지 주지 도가리지 치고도 단주자제도 말이 맞고 메시지죠 동가 동지지면 남스. That's why our lives, that's why, not because of your neighbor, your friend, your co-worker, your boss, your parent, your sibling. We have all kinds of things there because I'm not happy because of my sibling, my brother, my sister, my parent, my neighbor, my country, my president, blah, 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 blah. So see, if you are truthful, honest, truthful, straightforward, you need to analyze. Just need to stop blaming somebody else. It never ends. It probably creates more. It never ends. Need to be truthful, honest, and straightforward. Need to analyze. And then see, if your goal is not, I'm not really worried about freeing myself from this great river. So then you don't need to worry. Don't need to worry. So you say, for me, samsara is not the best, not that bad, not bad, and I don't mind to be part of samsara. That's your choice. Then it's okay, you know. So this is designed to someone who's seriously seeking liberations, freedom for good. So this is the instructions to help them on this. Oh. So so now that's the fact. That's the fact. Everybody here, you, me, everybody. Don't assume, oh, she dressed well, maybe she has no problem. Could be mistaken. Don't judge based on their appearance, the way they talk. Everybody, every one of us. Life is greatly influenced by those four strong rivers, tightly bound by our actions. Oh. One day is happy, next day is not happy. That's the nature. That's the nature. If you want to be happy all the time, you need to liberate yourself. You need to free yourself. You need to liberate. Otherwise, you can't complain. One day you're going to be happy, and next day you're not going to be happy. That's the nature. It's not just you, everybody. Everybody. Billionaire, millionaire, president, or king, queen. Doesn't matter what kind of title you have, what kind of education you possess. Doesn't matter. One day is going to be happy, one day is going to be not happy. Oh, yeah. Then if you manage to think something positive every day, so then, every day there are ways to enjoy and feel purpose, feel meaning in your life. That's the way to do. Way before you liberate yourself from samsara, day-to-day life, day-to-day life. So I can call day-to-day life liberations. So everybody. Then experience someday some pleasure, other day, some pleasure by eating something, and the next day throwing up. Then enjoying some kind of pleasure by wearing something, next day didn't really like, somebody says something, then that's nature, that's nature. Means you have to understand that's the fact, You have to understand that's what you expect. What do you expect? That's what you expect. Oh. It's not something that's, is like shocking or surprising. That's like once you understand samsara, there's nothing to surprise. So that's the life.
Geshe-la, when you were talking about shine the light of wisdom, were you talking about the lotus being the symbol of renunciation and the moon being representing bodhicitta? No? No, that's something else. Okay.
So now, when you look around, then you see, no matter how they look, how they dress, how much money they have, how powerful they are, everybody has problems. Everybody has problems. So there's reason why you should pray for everybody. There's ground, there's foundations to develop universal compassion. And there, America, you're saying the same boat. We are in the same boat. We're in the same boat. Why they say the same boat? What that means? Why they say we are in the same boat? What that means? No, what that means in America when you say people who have no idea about Trump samsara, what that means? We are in the same boat. What that means?
It means.
It's just like sympathy, or it's just like it's like some kind of sympathy. When you say, "Oh, we are in the same boat," what that means?
It's recognizing that connection, that we're all in the same situation.
And when they use when they use that word, when they are in the same boat.
Yeah, usually when we have a problem. Yeah. Usually when we have a problem and we recognize that we share that problem with others.
Get up on Monday and we say, well, we're all in the same boat.
We sink or swim.
Is that like that you are sympathizing with someone else? You are kind of sympathizing their problems?
Yeah.
So that's good. So then, you know, like,
It's okay, we're all in the same
huh?
You might say, it's okay, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, sympathy. Sympathy.
It's
Huh?
not always universal. Like if I say I'm unemployed and you're unemployed too, then we're in the same boat. Like in the sense that we both have that same.
Both same experience. Both same. You both have same experience.
I feel like if we're in the same.
It'd be like if we both have the same problem.
Same problem, the same experience, same problem. So there are, it's very important, no? Very important to recognize. It's very important to recognize. So that's all. Now, my friend, the problem, I really don't want to see that person. I hate that person. This kind of mindset brings sufferings. So that needs to be understood, not just understood, very clearly understood, regardless you are Buddhist, not Buddhist, long as you have mind. There's something to be aware, something to be aware. Oh, like, oh, wonderful, you know, wish them well, you know, or like same boat, the same problem, doesn't matter. So then that understanding is very important. Oh, all now, so this is the situations. Greatly influenced by this four strong river, tightly bound into that river with actions and experiencing one day happy, next day unhappy, one day jumping up, screaming, second day hitting on the door kicking the door, throwing things. Like same. Then when you look a little deeper, birth, aging, sickness, death, none of them are free from that. If you look a little bit deep, same. Then you understand the situation. Now you understand the situation. So these are all sacrifice for my happiness. According to Mahayana Buddhism, not just one time, many, many times, multiple times. They sacrifice for my happiness so many times, not one time. So, their situation, including my situations, we are all in this situation now. I then look at that person. I remember the way he looked at me or she looked at me. You look at that person from their point of view, what do you get? Zero, nothing. There you get zero happiness. You don't get anything. So now you understand, you study the situation. Now this is the situation. When you go to visit a remote part of Asia, Nepal, when you look around, every family just has a struggling. How you say in English? Struggling. Barely reaching. That is it's not just one. Barely getting by. It's not just one. You look here, this family. When you look here, family, all of them. You choose one. It's hard to choose one, right? If you are in that circumstance, it's hard to choose one. Why? Everybody in the same situations. Hard to choose one. You sympathize with all of them. Because now you see situation. It's not like, this is now, not talking about seeing, thinking. Well, now you see, there's like each has like 4 or 5 kids. You see each one of them. So you can't, it's very hard to pick one. If you have something to give, what do? You divide them. You divide equally to them because their situation is equally desperate. But we don't see that. This is something that's very obvious. as a human, deep down, there's goodness, there's human goodness. When you encounter this kind of situation, you sympathize with them, sympathize. So, doesn't matter if they are your relative, same hometown, doesn't matter. When you see that, you feel bad for them. If you have something to give, you don't choose, you just divide as much as you can, you just divide them equally. So that's why you see, it's hard to choose. When you think in your mind, so now there are situations, everybody, it's hard to pick one. Enemy, you can ignore. Stranger, you can ignore. The friend, of course, no. So these are the same situations. No? That's what we, as a human, that's what we do when you go to some poor country. When you go there, when you see that's human nature, you feel bad for all of them, and you try to. It's hard to choose one, and you distribute equally. That's human nature. That's human nature. So because now you saw, now this meditation, then you understood in the mind. It's not you see, but you understood in your mind. So that's the situations. That's the situations. Before I think, this situation is totally different. I don't like that person always sitting there, making a lot of noise and all that. That's the situation you only see. That's all you see. There's no ground for compassion. No ground for compassion. Now your attitude totally change. Totally change. You are going deep. You're going deep. Then from there you are rising. From there, so that's how one generates bodhicitta based on deeper understanding of the situation of every breathing living being. So based on that, then you generate bodhicitta. So now next time when you say, I go to refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha in order to believe it, how you say? So in English I'm not sure. I take refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Till I reach enlightenment. May all sentient beings. Now it means something than just mumbling. That's what you do when you go to Kadampa. You just say. Then I get bored. I just say that. So it's not like that. So now next time when you say, it means something. Next time when you say all sentient beings, that word becomes heavier. It has some meaning. Because you study, now you understood. You study, now you understood. May all sentient beings, what that really means. What they really mean. It means now it leads to something, okay? Yeah. So now that's good. Next time when you say do not see, it means something. It means something good. So whatever name you call. Okay, now stop. So it's like supposed to 20 minutes, now 6 minutes past, okay? Sorry for the overtime. Yeah, thank you.
Let's read the dedication on page 263.
So the next Wednesday, now this finished the 6 cause and 1 result. The next Wednesday talk a little bit about the exchange of oneself with others, so then move to the bodhicitta, emptiness. Emptiness. Okay.
From my 2 collections, vast as space, that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of completed graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all Buddhas upon my practice, using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion. May I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings, and point the paths as I have discerned them. May I uphold Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion, in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted boundless peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. by even this greater path to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their sons. May all human and non-human beings eliminate adversity and create conducive conditions for practicing the excellent paths, never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. Now turn to page 235. Read the general dedication prayers. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra too realize things as they are, I too dedicate all these merits in the best way, that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praises the best by the victorious ones gone of the 3 times, so I might perform good works. Then the long life prayers on 244 and 245. Ganira we korwe shinkam de pendan dewa malu jinwene chere singwan tenzing gyatso yi shape site baru tenju chi jonu iya nala wanshotu awatare tsembara sopa losangewe deton lek pausho shashun gengyo lama sowa de tupsu chanjin jangen gewe Tenzing kyom pewe kunze doko ze choksum kulwele muntudu padok so duje kundu shapten sha Om tare tu re so ha 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 Om tare tu re so ha.
Oh yeah, thank you. Good night.